Well, now I've done it. We can never return to the old format. I've lost the layout. It's not here now. We're forever.
Even worse
these guys. Oh, wait. There it goes. There it goes.
Yeah, cover me up. I'm fine with it.
Hey, everybody. I'm Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net. Over here, I got Jesse, the Thronkill, down below, the sketchy guy, Rob Sketchcraft.
Preparing for my big cook day tomorrow.
Yeah.
High energy, Rob. Can't wait to cook all day.
Man.
You just are the life force for it, aren't you?
Yeah. Are you on Monster Energy drink today?
No, just gearing up, guys. I'm on my feet for 16 hours tomorrow, though,
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, so
really,
the day before, I always go, all right, I accept this pain because I don't know.
because
my wife is too used to the meals, man. Like every year is her favorite thing. This is her. Yeah. She hates with the the history of the whatever, the date and everything, in this country. But she loves the food, so
right.
Gotta do it.
We make tamales. We have to go and make tamales at the family get together.
I don't envy that.
Every year.
Yeah. Tamales are good.
Yeah, here's what happens when you're making tamales. You walk in the room, you're like, tamales. By the end of the day, you're like, oh, God, I never want to smell these things again.
But then I also make sure that we get the chicken tacos that we're supposed to make every year. So I make
I had to stop my little brother from eating the husks when he was a kid. Like, don't eat this,
like
man.
Chips.
He's like, of the Ghostbuster dogs? Okay.
There is no Thanksgiving. There's only Zool.
I woke up today, or not woke up, but when I finally got on the internet, my internet was down this morning for some reason when I woke up. And then when I finally get on the internet, I'm like looking, I have a bunch of DMs from friends, Star Wars buds, listeners, whatever. It always feels douchey to say fans, honestly. Hey, Eric, how's it going?
The bots. That's
the
what I
bots.
like to call
Mr. Eric.
The bots.
Mr. Eric Denton.
And there was this article with Adam Driver, and we will break it down. Honestly,
he went full method actor for The Last Duel. Didn't tell anybody.
Yeah, a lot of people are taking what he says in this article as like gospel, and as if it means what it means. I'm not so sure it means what we want it to mean necessarily, if we're all on the same page about what we want. So the article says, given the notoriety of The Last Jedi's discourse and the general fury of fandom, this is from unilad.co.uk, it wouldn't be surprising if he's avoiding franchises going forward, or at the very least, prepares AI Cody voice, outer space. But that's not the case. He says, no, I'm totally not against it. For me, it's a filmmaker's medium. So my only thing is working with great filmmakers, whatever the size. It's never been interesting to me to an extent. There's an interesting thing about working on both. I always just follow people I'd be interested in working with and whether I'd be right for the part, things like that. No, definitely not adverse, he says. Then they go on to write, if Kylo somehow returned, social media would explode. However, in his post-Star Wars career continues to blossom with such genre-spanning dynamism, perhaps we should take heed and let the past die. See, I don't think he's talking about Star Wars right there.
I don't think so.
I think that the article maybe either purposely or accidentally spins it into him talking about Star Wars to get this conversation going around the article. Maybe I'm wrong, but he's definitely saying either way that he's not adverse to the blockbuster genre in space if it was to work with somebody interesting. I mean,
I imagine if he wants to do a Marvel shot and it's with somebody he wants to work with, I don't think he'd actually say no.
I've always wanted to play Spider-Ham.
I'm
going to play
Spider-Man. Be the Spider Noir.
People just want to.
I could be a young Nick Cage.
People just want to see him shirtless, getting oiled up to be Spider-Ham. You know,
I want to play a young Clooney Batman. Specifically, young Clooney Batman.
But yeah, like I said, this is going around, and everyone was getting excited about it, and it's just, to me, I don't think he's necessarily saying I would come back to Star Wars. I think he's saying he would do the blockbuster genre again.
I just wish he'd go, look, man, if they wheeled up a big truck of money, right? I mean, the biggest truck of money even JJ has ever seen, I'll do anything you want.
Yeah.
Hey, Griffin, don't worry about it, man, because remember, no one's ever truly gone.
Well, that's actually what I believe is that they were able to get Harrison Ford back, is what I always say. Adam Driver is going to be 10 times easier to get Adam Driver back into anything at this stage of his career than Harrison Ford, who they got to come back twice. So there's no doubt in my mind that they would bring Kylo back eventually, and that he'll do it when that time comes, because, you know, he wants to go and he wants to do indie films and things like this Gucci movie. But if he wants to, if he wants to get super rich, though, and if he wants to be able to float, being able to do whatever the hell he wants, doing a Star Wars movie is kind of like something that he could probably do in his sleep at this point, for better or worse.
But I believe the action figure technology can replicate the feeling of my skin, that I will come back.
Yeah,
Kylo Ren and the Ren's and the Ren Rangers.
Yeah, I would watch the Ren Rangers, RenRangers.com.
Told you, man. I've been waiting for Cobra Kai to just turn into Power Rangers. Like those two, they got the Cobra Zord and the tree, the Miyagi Zord or whatever. Like that's what I'm waiting for. Yeah, because I just think they could wheel right into that with no problems.
And then they can become extra big and be like robot jocks.
Yeah,
robot jocks. Griffin says Adam Driver's Kylo Ren is one of the only aspects of the sequel trilogy that I can reflect on with admiration. I love to see more of that character, but JJ kind of fucked that up. And that's, but in my opinion, almost a greater subtext and theme that ends up being sort of now is bigger, I think, than it was ever after Episode 9, and maybe is overlooked to some extent, is that Anakin messes up the whole galaxy on a quest for, I don't know if eternal life is the way, but to stop people from dying.
And I'm Rey Skywalker. I'm a Skywalker. All right, let's see your chain code. Shit. Palpatine.
Oh, man. Yeah. You're out.
Chain codes ruin all of that, by the way. Like, yeah. Just saying.
Right.
But we have Anakin on this quest for immortality, and then where do we end up? We end up with Rey essentially doing what Anakin set out to do, and them kind of bringing each other back to life. And then he, of course, though, perishes at the end, having defeated Palpatine. With that in mind, all they have to do is put a few plot building blocks in place that we need Ben Solo to come back. We need Bloodline Skywalker. You know what I mean? Something of that kind of not somebody who just takes up the mantle, somebody who actually has the DNA of the chosen one.
Would Anakin not be able to be physically immortal, but the fact that people, even in Rey's time, is she says you're afraid you'll never be as strong as Darth Vader, so the name carries on. So in a way, would he technically kind of be immortal then, in a kind of subtle fashion, because people keep saying it?
Me and Griffin,
the name, and they're afraid of the name, kind of like Voldemort. They're afraid of the name instead of the person.
Maybe. I mean, oh no, I did it again. Did I do it again?
If you say Palpatine 3 times, I like this. This gives me that Wilson look.
So Griffin's not interested in seeing Ben Solo pop up as a blue ghost to say something corny. And personally, I'm not either. I think that the story there is literally the resurrection of Ben Solo. But like all things, like in terms of like most magical spiritual motifs, like even in Star Wars, when Palpatine brings the shroud of the dark side over the Jedi so they can't see the future and what's going on around them, that is what causes Anakin to be born in the Plagueis book and George Lucas's backstory. There's always a push and a pull to that magic kind of idea. In most
somehow things. Ben Solo has returned. That's how they'll do it.
no, yeah, that's how JJ would do it and then walk away and
he was a Force ghost, and all the other Force ghosts. Hey, man, he needs some more time down there in the planets because he gets a little out of control.
I think what Jesse and everyone's trying to confirm is we're going to get Star Wars Haunted Mansion next year.
All right.
So we got Muppet Haunted Mansion, and then we'll get Star Wars Haunted Mansion.
Is Eddie Murphy in this one? Eddie Murphy and Adam Driver in Star Wars.
Look, missed opportunity for Ghostbusters Afterlife was not getting Eddie Murphy. Him and Winston should have been team up members, right?
Yeah. If it was old Eddie Murphy, ghost? I'd be up for it.
Yeah. But Eddie Murphy could play a whole group of old ass Ghostbusters, like in the Coming to America, where they're all
them doing Egon with their version of the Force Ghost. That was actually pretty good, and I thought they did that really well with him.
Yeah.
I'm Jacob and Kylo.
But I do think that if they wanted to continue any of the stories, this would make the most sense to bring him back, like I said, and have a ramification, or even have one whole film about bringing him back. Because like when we were talking about yesterday is in that big nerd alert, right?
Kylo Quest
is that it basically like in my opinion, character progressions in franchise films there's micro growth. And my buddy Eric texted me after the show yesterday and said, "I'm here to tell you why you're wrong." And I just wrote back, nerd alert with sirens back at his face.
Oh, no.
That's what you
oh wow, why you're wrong, huh?
But
meanwhile, in Kylo Quest, he's holding up the coin that has like his nipples, and he has to find the right ones that line up.
So Eric says, "I watched your live stream last night, and I'm going to tell you why you're wrong about the MCU characters not changing like TV characters. So buckle up. This is going to be a long text, sir." And then Iron Man and Cap are totally different characters just by the time of Civil War, which is 5 movies in for Tony, 4 for Cap. In Iron Man 2, Tony completely believes in privatized power. He flips off Congress and even tells them he's privatized world peace. He doesn't believe in oversight. Cap, meanwhile, in his first movie and in Avengers 1, believes in the chain of command, especially as a soldier. But then the events of Captain America, the Winter Soldier, he learns that S.H.I.E.L.D. is corrupt and can no longer trust any institutionalized authority. In Age of Ultron, Tony's "I always know best" hubris leads to an evil AI, which almost destroys the world. So he's humbled and now recognizes he needs oversight. So by approximately 5 movies in for them, they've ideologically switched places. So number one, did I give the nerd alert? Okay, I did. And but I will say that
I hear the movie sign thing when we do nerd alert. Movie sign.
It's like all of those. It takes 5 movies for somebody to change of one simple idea about themselves, though, is the point that I'm trying to make, is that these things go so slow because number one, us adult man babies, we can't take change. We can't. If you flip the script on a character, if a character changes,
don't go slow. They don't go slow. That's where I just agree with you.
Yeah,
because Age of Ultron starts in 2015, right before Force Awakens. Mm-hmm. And then we have Endgame by the time right before Rise of Skywalker comes out. and look at all the movies with those characters in there in between the time it took them to get 3 Star Wars films figured out and made.
Yeah, but
so like that doesn't they don't move slow. It's just that you're expecting everything to happen in one movie, and it doesn't feel natural now when everything happens in one movie. What I'm trying to say is they need more adventures with these characters. Making these characters appear in 3 films and try and conjure up a saga-like moral for them didn't work, and it's not going to work moving forward. The game has changed. It's like, fundamental.
Go on, Jesse. Sorry.
Yeah, they should have like the episodes where Kylo's out there and he's doing his thing, and then they can get Hayden Christensen. They can like pop up and they can have their little adventures together, like Harry Potter sees his parents pop up and with them.
Like when I look at Mark Hamill. When I look at Mark Hamill, like when I look at Luke Skywalker in A New Hope, and then look at him in Return of the Jedi, like the guy has completely gone the other way. He looks different. He acts different. He's not the same person. In my opinion, they changed their mind. The Marvel characters changed their mind about something, but they're the same fucking like they're the same character. Like Tony Stark is he believes something different, but he's the same dude.
Yeah, because Han Solo's changed so much in 40
and
years,
Han Solo, yeah, no, and I'm
they even gave him a prequel movie where he didn't change much either. So.
You're actually agreeing with me right there. I agree with you. The Han Solo thing is there is no actual progression.
I'm saying we need more adventures, bro, with these characters for me to care about what they're doing. I don't care whether sometimes you have negative character arcs where characters don't fundamentally change. Batman is never going to fundamentally change. That being said, making 1 or 2 Batman films, waiting 8 years and giving us the same roster of Batman characters every time does not excite me. I'm like, where's the other Batman adventures?
The needle really doesn't move the needle.
No, and so that's the whole thing. Like, and it's when you're faced with your competition is then putting up an entire universe. I mean, I got 2 adventures. I got more time with Hawkeye tonight than I'm gonna have with Batman in the last 5 years. Like, this is ridiculous. You know, they're just getting beat out by competent production, and I mean, really, the Marvel formula with the way Marvel has that art studio that builds their films out way in advance is what Lucas was touting Zoetrope and eventually Lucasfilm to be, that they would be developing all these films before we ever wrote a script. You know, they're doing that. Lucasfilm isn't doing that. Lucasfilm is developing things, and maybe they got someone on board and then they make an announcement and then they don't do it, and then when we do it, well, we changed it halfway through and then someone else then no one wanted to say anything, so somehow Palpatine has returned is an actual canon line in Star Wars. Somehow someone returned is ridiculous. And and it's like and there aren't bad ideas in those films. The idea that whispers of Palpatine speaking across the galaxy and everyone's hearing it, and that's a crazy cool idea, but nothing's done with it. Yeah. So it's like if Adam Driver comes back, it's just going to be we're just going to have to deal with another, unless it's like a series. If it's a movie, we're going to have to deal with the whole, oh, he's going to come back to save the woman now, and that's the problem. Like, it's just like we can't even focus on what the adventure would be. We're going to hear all of this about how somehow Adam Driver and Daisy Ridley are in a Lucasfilm Civil War, which was the other half of this weird fandom that I don't get. You know, I've never understood. They call it shipping now, but when I was a kid, it was just like, it's
nerd like nerd alert.
It's the biggest. It's like when I used to hear about, well, you know, Batman doesn't need to save the woman can save. Okay, but then when Catwoman beat him, how can Catwoman punch Batman if he's a trained? I'm like, it's a fun comic book movie. Chill out, like just chill. Yeah. Like, I don't know, man. So my hope in that statement is when Adam Driver says filmmakers want to work with, I don't want to work with JJ. If a filmmaker come back that I'm interested in working with, I'll work with that filmmaker.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't want to be a studio guy is what I hear. He wants to be attached to the person making the film.
See, when you and I are having the conversation about character progression and me saying it's purposely stunted, I think that it's there's like 2 ways of looking at it. I think you're looking at it from the perspective of production and time. And I'm looking at it from what actually is coming out and hitting. And I could agree with you that it doesn't work when it takes Lucasfilm fucking 15 years to make 3 movies. You know what I mean? When they can't make their shit happen. But
Kylo Ren killing a Sith Lord to better his own personal agenda is what he did in the previous film.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't really change at all. Like, you know, he changed so that Rey ended up in a better spot, but he still just did whatever he wanted. He killed his own buddies. But I mean, he killed all his homies.
What Eric messaged me is it took was it 5 movies for Captain America and Iron Man to switch ideological places? If this was a good movie made in 1985, all of that would have happened in one movie.
Yeah, you know what I mean, I know, but you wouldn't have had all these characters in 1985 in one film. It would have been one character who slowly moved. And we could prove this because look at Batman, the Batman '89 movie, wherein Batman is barely even in it. It's all the other villains. They would spend no time with the heroes. They would say they're not interesting. We just want the villains.
Okay, but my point is that you can't. We do have structures in film and television, plays, whatever, to literally have a character switch ideological stances in the first act to the third act. It's not that hard, but it's a choice to elongate these things and milk that titty. They're milking those characters for everything it's worth.
Yeah, well, if you do it well, you don't notice. So
right.
They're doing it well. The reason why it took so long, though, even to get to that point, and this is you can say Rob's talking about production, but this is the reality, is they had a story group that refused for these characters to change. And that came from the comic book side. The New York comic book side did not want those characters to change. The West Coast movie side says we have to, or we are no longer going to be able to make these movies in fucking 3 movies from now. We have to do that. And so there's these philosophical battles between the comic book side that never wants it to change and the movie side that says we had to. And the movie side eventually won out.
Is Jingle All the Way one of those movies where they kind of do everything?
It's not in 80, it's 97. Only movies from the 80s would fundamentally change, and only good films. Like in The Breakfast Club, when she turns from a cool goth chick into, a Soch. That was great.
Yeah. No, but that's like that's why every movie is a prequel to itself. No movie
poems from MakingStarWars.net. We got to do that.
Pretty much. I mean, no, it's true it. Though. It's like
nerd alert and tone poems.
Nerd alert and tone poems. It's like I like the new Ghostbusters movie, but I feel like they moved a lot of the character progression onto the next one, and each of the Star Wars movies is like, I'm going to let the next person do the heavy lifting on this one aspect I haven't figured out yet. And then we hit the supposed end of the line, which I do not for a second believe is the end of the line for that era of Star Wars. I don't. I just think I think that if they're going to, whatever they have developed, they will just continue to milk over time. I think we'll see sequel trilogy era stuff. I think they'll get really nostalgic for Clone Wars stuff, and they'll start doing, Clone Wars stuff, which
15 High Republic projects. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Once
the High Republic.
Once they end up successfully getting something out for it, they will. Oh, thank you for the super chat thingy, Griffin. I appreciate it, dude. Griffin says, you might have discussed this recently, but how likely is a Luke Skywalker project moving forward? That cameo broke the internet. What do you guys think? What do you think, Rob?
Well, we had that conversation. Like, it's a double-edged sword, wherein ideally the time to recast a new Luke Skywalker was that shot, but they went with the deep fake, for the nostalgia, because obviously they wanted fans to get that Luke they never got. So you're again in a two-pronged problem. I think they should, but they should just cast a new actor rather than deepfake, which they probably won't do. Or they will do. I mean, they could just be, now we're going to do it, and we'll just say, but then they're going to have that There's gonna be that problem that someone wants a new actor to be the Luke in that Mando scene, right? And then we're gonna forever. This is gonna be the new who Han shot first problem. Like, we can deepfake this scene in here and deepfake that one. So creatively, I would like to see it because it's the only way to give that sequel trilogy any kind of weight going into The Force Awakens is to actually have some stakes on the table, like going into there. But will they? I don't know, man. I mean, they'll probably announce it. It's TV, so they won't cancel it. But they should have already done it by now, honestly. Like, announced it. But
yeah, what do you think, Jesse? Do you think they'll do a Luke Skywalker series? Do you think no, you don't think so?
No, if they do it, it'll be years from now, years when we're old and gray and wrinkly.
Like right now.
We're kind of pasty. We're not gray. We're a little pasty.
Yeah,
he's whiter than all of us. Actually,
I think he's saying yes. He just doesn't know yet.
No, yeah, I think it's probably at least 20 years away.
That's ridiculous.
You think that far?
I think that far.
I mean, essentially, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna let you have that, but I'm gonna say let's take it to a Kathleen Kennedy era or a post Kathleen Kennedy era.
Well, okay,
because once we get post Kathleen Kennedy, who knows? You know what I mean? Things change.
But who's considered to look like him the most? Sebastian Stan. He works for Marvel. Or Disney. He said he would love to play Skywalker if they asked. Most people say, "Oh yeah, that's the best look." Why wouldn't they be doing it now?
I'm gonna
they're too busy making Rogue Squadron. It's a very important movie, Jesse.
Yeah,
it's really necessary. We get this. Those ships gotta fly upside
down somehow.
We gotta have it.
Proton torpedoes don't fire themselves.
But we
Into the Dengar zone. Don't you know the song?
We don't know. We don't really know for certain anything about Rogue Squadron. That could have been a Luke Skywalker movie. We could have been completely wrong. It could have been a movie about Luke Skywalker and Wedge Antilles and Porkins. Well, Porkins is dead, but you know what I'm saying. It could have been those guys on a space
Porkins.
Porkins.
Can I apply?
Can't do that.
Audition to be the stand-in for Porkins? I do that.
Eckhart, sir. Yeah.
Think about the future.
But anyways,
not even his voice.
My take is that Luke Skywalker is a bread and butter character of Star Wars, and as they start to move too far out beyond what people loved about Star Wars, as they do explore the boundaries further of what it is, then we will miss him more. And then it will be a no-brainer. We're going to give you whatever the hell you want move to bring Luke Skywalker back in. And when that happens, I don't know. It definitely has diminishing returns because eventually everybody will figure out that it was the 80s that we loved and being children, and that Mark Hamill was just really good at that role because he was that guy. But I also don't think that Sebastian Stan, I think he'd be fine as Luke. I think he'd be cool. But I also don't think that, I think that you can do a huge casting call and spend 6 months and probably find somebody who looks just like Mark Hamill and acts just like Mark Hamill did back then. And could probably nail it with somebody.
So they can do a Shatner and do the Generations style.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they just really.
And they cast Eddie Redmayne as Luke Skywalker and fuck everybody. We don't care if he looks like him or not.
Yeah, exactly.
William Murphy, if you're gonna go that far.
But in 5 years, Mark Hamill may be playing young Luke. Let's just be real about that possibility too.
You want to see my hood?
I saw Harold Ramis in a Ghostbusters movie the other day. I think a living Mark Hamill may be playing Luke Skywalker in a movie in a few years.
That's true.
Someone just said Herman Cain's dead and his account still verified on Twitter. Think about that. I was like, oh yeah. When you're dead, your account still stays. Yeah, they leave it up and they keep it verified even after you die.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. It's Carrie Fisher's probably still verified, right?
Yeah. I don't think they unverify your account. I think.
But if you're not there,
your estate runs it usually. Like Peter Mayhew.
The estate will run CGI Luke Skywalker.
Rick Jones says, myself, I am interested in new Star Wars characters. Also, they should recast Cara Dune. A Kylo Ren movie would be backpedaling. So,
Darcio mentioned yesterday that we should just give Dash Rendar his due and really merely make that character better in a series. Like, there is an opportunity to take a dumb character like Dash Rendar and that fucking Dash and merely actually make him like, could you imagine if Taika was like, I'm gonna do a Dash series? You know, it'd be kind of stupid, but you'll like it. Matthew Berry is Dash Rendar. Like, okay, I'll Chewbacca. Put that blaster down. The thermal detonator.
Out the galaxy is the man to see.
My kids were like watching Mando like a week or two ago, and I walked in on the moment when you get Cara Dune's backstory like revealed, and I'm like, they not only do they really come up with bad names, Filoni and Favreau come up with really horrible names for Star Wars characters.
Grogu is one of them, bro.
Well, the idea of a character named Cara Dune being from Alderaan, that's a terrible last name for somebody.
Her brother was Frank Herbert.
Yeah, right. What? But it doesn't. That's like unless Dune is a pseudonym or a name that she just pulled out of her ass.
That one I actually agree with. I actually kind of like Cara. That sounds like a Han Solo. That's pretty good. It's easy to remember
by itself. But her being from Alderaan, that's where it's like no. You don't have
because of Dune.
You wouldn't have people from Alderaan with the last name Dune overall. I mean,
no, so she has to come from a sand planet to have a sand name.
I would think so.
Jason.
I would think so.
It gets everywhere.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, I'm just saying though, like you have like the Organas, and I don't know why this person calls me every time at this time when they know I'm doing a show, and I will never take your call.
Because everyone knows in Alderaan they only make organic food.
Are you aware your auto warranty is out of date and expired?
Oh shit! Oh shit! My auto warranty is out of date. I want him to go instead of it'd be great if Matt Berry was Dash Rendar, but no one calls him Dash. I go, hey, what's up, Rash? It's Dash. What's up, Stash? What the
other guy that I can see as Dash Rendar is Chris Jericho.
I don't know. I think if they do Dash, they should just go completely like oddball way, something that you would never expect. But Griffin says they should bring Gina back.
Steve
Who cares?
Buscemi is fucking Dash Rendar.
Yeah. Who cares if she's dumb as fuck? Don't look at Twitter laughing my ass off. I honestly think that it probably has a lot to do with her encouraging people not to wear masks during a pandemic that was going to get people killed. And nobody knows how this is going to shake out in the end, how it's going to be remembered and looked at. So if you have a Star Wars character telling people don't wear masks, preserve your freedoms and that kind of shit, I think that had a lot to do with it. And then also she went off the deep end, and now she's playing she's like in a Goonies spinoff, I think.
Hey, do not besmirch. Dick Donner was a bleeding heart liberal, bro. She's joined the Fratellis. Okay, let's be honest. That's what she joined.
It does confuse me why right wingers think I give a fuck about Hunter Biden. Like, I just don't care about Hunter Biden. Could have been a Nazi. It wouldn't really have anything to do with the fact that Joe Biden's an old turd. It just has nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? It's like he didn't raise his kids right, and his kid was corrupt. And it's like, well, look at Donald Trump's kids; they're on cocaine.
That's the whole. It's all it is, man. It's your good, our guy's boogie, your guy. I just don't give a shit.
They're both the same. They're both the same. One's snorting crack, the other one's smoking crack. And
yeah, it's like
strippers and not paying their fucking bills for it. I mean, he's every other shitty white dude in America, and so maybe.
Speaking of shitty white dudes, Dash Rendar. Hi. So back.
Hey, everything more people identify because everybody in their family has that Uncle Joey who's in jail or has been
Uncle
to jail.
Jailbird Joey. We all have him.
Yeah, and so it's like, oh look, Joe Biden's got Hunter Biden. That guy's a fuck up. Oh well, he's kind of like the rest of us.
But he's dead.
Barty's just trying to get an honorary 9th degree taekwondo belt. So,
Marty. Here's Marty. Marty McKay says, imagine a Kylo Ren Ben Solo movie where he is tasked with a quest in which he secures redemption or resurrection. Unlike Vader, he actually deserves it, as Palpatine was grooming him from the womb.
Grooming him from the womb.
Mm-hmm. When he was like a little Kylo baby.
One day, here. Just give him to that guy.
One day the nipples.
I am inside Princess Leia's snatch. Her baby is here.
Very clever. Very clever. Why didn't I think of that?
I have the Sorcerer's Stone.
Stupid. I should have thought of that.
Yeah, that's Star Wars for you. It's all about Snatch.
I'm sorry, but Palpatine came back from the dead and told me that if I don't take Lorraine to the dance, whoa. The whole world's going to die.
First of all, how are you going to get there?
How are you going to get there? Yeah.
It's Lorraine, not Lorraine. Kylo. Star Wars. What are you talking about? Eddie Redmayne. Oh, no. I just thought of a really. I don't want to do it there. I don't want to go there.
Don't. You're always telling me not to do it. So if you're saying you shouldn't do it, I know you're not supposed to do it.
Yeah, my alarm goes off. Whoa, buddy.
Yikes.
Write that one down. Chuck it away.
But I mean, but we seriously do need to acknowledge that Palpatine did teleport into Princess Leia's snatch. That did happen.
His dick is a portkey.
Mm-hmm. Somehow. Where do you think the missing finger went, guys? Like, where do you? I lost a finger.
You gotta pay cash, grass, or ass. You gotta pay somehow.
You know, in Porky's when they have that really like.
Don't do that. That'll get us demonetized.
When they do the looking through the pinhole pervy scene, you know that whole weird.
You talking about power?
I'm talking about Porky's. Well. How do you think Palpatine spied on the rebels? After that, is like Kylo's back here. He's looking through there.
His butthole would detach and fly around.
Exegol's actually just one of those Disneyland Mark Twain ships in space. Just moves around.
Dell says they can have plenty of scenes together in live action in any series that makes sense. I didn't even expect to see them in the sequel trilogy, knowing how far in the future it happens. Yeah.
And is it wrong that I thought that the extension arm that Palpatine was on in Rise of Skywalker, it just made me feel like this is like the worst Muppet show ever.
What was that?
When he was stuck on the end of that fucking arm, and just
he's proto Flight of the Navigator, right? Yeah.
I'm gonna no.
If I say Max will think I'm talking about her. I'm talking about Max from Flight of the Navigator. He's got that arm, and
you're wrong, and you're wrong. It's proto Mac and me. In the chair? No.
Okay. I guess see what you're doing. I tried to drink soda from the ground. Didn't work.
Remember when the kid goes over the thing in the wheelchair? Mac and me.
Yeah.
Oh, the Mac and me.
They should have done that,
bro.
That's how
we went to one of those radio show premieres with my uncle, and McDonald's was giving out little cake slices because McDonald's is heavily featured. And when they get to the McDonald's section, it's 20 minutes of them dancing around a McDonald's. I just never seen anything quite like a commercial. That's what I was like, commercials, huh?
It was like that de Blasio thing he did in New York.
I had a bad
like a whole street full of people like dancing and doing some kind of cultural things during the pandemic. Like, but they're all wearing masks. It's like, we can all go outside now. And
that's a giant stretch, Jesse. I'm talking about they had a musical chorus dance in the middle of McDonald's.
Exactly.
I would like to see. It would have been funny in Coming to America too if someone tried to do that dance routine at the McDougal's and then they just got Hakeem comes in with the broom and just whacks them out. No dancing.
I love me an Egg McMuffin.
I have the golden arcs.
I'm pretty sure I saw another terrible movie around the same time as Mac and Me called Purple People Eater, and he played the saxophone. Yeah, that's
a Disney Channel thing, man.
Was it?
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, it's a Disney Channel.
Have any of you guys seen? Eric wants to know if any of us have seen the director's cut of Rocky IV. It's not about robots anymore.
Yeah, but it's really weird.
Is it?
You would think he would just take out the stuff that was kind of goofy and fill in the movie, but he completely like the first part of the film is a lot of stuff from Rocky 3. It's just a weird edit. Somewhere there's a real fan edit that takes the stuff he put in and then does it, but it's like a different edit altogether. And he cut out everything with Bridget Nielsen because it's like that wasn't hurting the film. You just don't like her, so it's odd, man. It's
like, do you think when he sees Flavor Flav, he's like, yeah, go ahead and have that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Flavor Flav tore that up. Anyways, I like Rocky 4 for the robots, for all of the cheese, and I really only need Rocky 1 for a film.
Weren't those really his robots too in real life? Like those were his, and he just put him in the movie.
I don't think robots were real back then, Jesse.
I don't care about Rocky winning in Rocky 2.
Mm-hmm.
But Rocky 2, man, the way it opens up with that cool like disco-y version of the Rocky theme where he's in the ambulance and he's and he's going to the hospital and he's there with Apollo like recuperating, and then he loses all of his money because he's he gets taken advantage of, and like all that stuff to me is the part of boxing that actually really exists, right? In any sports combat, right? Like they just I thought that part of Rocky 2 was really great. Then of course he has to win, which is whatever, but
yeah, that's that. I don't know. Like I probably will end up watching it, but I don't know if is it a movie that you buy now, like on Vudu? Is that that kind of deal? Is like a digital purchase or whatever?
Oh, the director's cut.
Yeah,
Rocky 4. 2 films.
Amazon. It was on Amazon. Yeah. I got it. Yeah.
Streamed or for purchase?
I can't remember.
Well, did you buy it for cash or did you just watch it on Amazon Prime?
I think I watched it on Amazon Prime.
Okay, because I have Amazon Prime, so it means I could just go watch it.
I think I watched it on Amazon.
Yeah.
Is that 2 80s movies where Carl Weathers dies?
I'm just gonna throw it out there that unfortunately, if you were a black man in an 80s movie, you probably, and you're not Eddie Murphy, you probably died.
That's why Ghostbusters stands out so much, because they didn't kill Winston at the very end. Like we bring him in with 30 minutes to kill, and then we kill him. Like, thank God they didn't do that.
All of these guys are having this like
oh, you're missing the whole argument. You're way behind
on this one.
Yeah. That's why I made the Taekwondo joke.
I think Mando 3 will be the end. Pascal can reference Sunset and memorize pedos until his heart's content.
Yeah.
I think him just saying it wasn't right that somebody got murdered was what he was doing. I don't think he knew the backstory of those two guys' lives.
He's certain he did all the investigative journalism.
No, he didn't do the Mark Ruffalo where he referred to him as JoJo. So that to me,
I don't know what that means either.
He was giving a nickname to Joseph Rosenbaum, like they were friends.
Oh, okay.
Guy who raped 5 kids.
Okay.
Like
people.
Nobody should have died. Whatever, fine, but you don't go out there and say, "Oh, I feel terrible for the loss of JoJo." It's like, who the fuck is calling him JoJo? I don't know anybody that calls him JoJo.
Well, Mark Ruffalo does.
Hey, y'all remember Terry Schiavo? Remember when we all fought over that? Remember that?
Yeah,
no one does. So remember this in 5 years.
I call her Shivy.
I don't want to. I don't really. It's just fucking done.
Yeah. Oh well, I mean, I think that it maybe sometimes everything is terrible. Maybe a kid went to go kill somebody and got off with it, and then maybe the people he killed was bad, and maybe they're all shit. That's kind of my take.
Yeah, maybe there's an entire city called Chicago where black people get shot left and right every day.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Wait, did somebody just get shot at your house? I just heard the mic going, ah!
Hey, he's shooting somebody.
He's going Fortnite crazy.
He's going crazy.
Yeah. When he's saving me, when he's picking me up and carrying me on his back in Fortnite, I'm all about it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take the good with the bad on this one.
Sometimes I just don't want to be on the receiving end of that.
He just found out Kathleen Kennedy got 3 more years. He's very excited.
When he's as big as you're in trouble, Jesse. That's all I'm gonna say. Gideon says, sometimes I feel like they should have given us something we wanted right away. It would have cleared the way for original content.
Smart move.
Yeah.
It needs to be. It does need to be a mixture. It's kind of like what I was saying with Adam Driver up front. Adam Driver needs to do his Star Wars and his Girls series. Like those things, you need to do this and that. and I think he might be a Ghostbuster fighting ghosts now. But anyways, I think that like with Star Wars, like you do need to give us that Luke Skywalker moment, and then that what the fuck, where is this going? We don't know, and then sell us on the idea.
Exactly. I mean, it's almost like they're just so hesitant to do anything with any of the characters that they have, that they own, but meanwhile, like Rob said earlier, like Marvel's just pumping them out. They're doing it because they're working on it at all times, keeping the flow going, whereas people get announced to be part of a Star Wars movie, or hey, we're writing it or directing, or whatever. There's so much of focus on that and what's going on, instead of them being able just to write the thing and go, hold on a second.
Okay.
It's the best. It sounds like Han Solo being tortured in Bespin back there.
Yeah.
Come get the new Solo KFC poppers. Spicy.
Yeah.
Like inappropriate Star Wars merchandising. Would be great.
Right now, okay, hold on. I'm on my show. Anyways, so check out this flex from Thanira. Here's a flex. My sister went to school with the new Sabine here in Australia. Man,
Nice.
that new Sabine is a looker, as the kids say.
Should be behind a helmet the whole time. Like, watch.
Yeah, right.
In classic Lucasfilm fashion, we got the thing, but chunk. Oh, what?
I mean, to look at it from holiday, from Hollywood sort of like douchebag perspective. I wonder if, because sometimes Sabine, like they end up giving her really short hair, and like I like girls with short hair. I think it's pretty hot actually, but they end up giving her some like almost like buzz cut kind of like looks at times. And I'm wondering if they were going with, we need somebody who could look hot with any kind of wild hair. You know what I mean?
Pops the helmet, thunk, it's that like the Peggy Bundy hair comes out.
Marge Simpson.
The Marge Simpson, yeah. That'd be great.
Okay, Marty says, come on, guys. Don't play dumb. It's common knowledge, and he should have thought of the victims. I honestly, Marty,
we're back in college.
I honestly did not know that the guys, or I think one of the guys had something. I didn't know anything about that until after. So I'm really not playing dumb. And
I don't want citizens playing soldier. All right. As a former military, I don't want citizens playing. You want to pick up a weapon, you want to be, and I don't care who you are. You want to pick up a weapon and run around the streets, join the military. Otherwise, join the police, do something. I don't want Punishers running around the country. I don't care if you're a Black Panther or a fucking white militia. I don't want it. It's not good. I've been to parts of the world where that happens on a regular basis, and it's not good for anybody. So that's it. I don't want to keep this stuff, Jason. This stuff infects the whole show, bro. Mm-hmm. Like they will take over the show with this. It's like it's like Y2K malware. Like,
well, it's not real.
They don't really care. They're just trying to take a tribal stance. Who cares?
Yeah. Well,
let's all get mad about Ryan Johnson, huh?
Marty says, I literally had no idea what you're talking about. Laugh out loud. Yeah. It's
no one cares.
It's but it is going to be a thing that is going to exist because Gina Carano, who was a Mary Sue until she was a right winger, got fired, and that's also the truth.
That is the weird turn in the whole story.
Yeah,
the woe Mandalorian nonsense, and now, hey, look, there's a character arc for you, Jason. Right, that happened quick.
Yeah,
she's technically a good '80s movie now. She's working with Robert Diva. That can't be. Is that his real last name though? Or was he luck? Because if you're born with the last name Diva, man, you got to be a tough kid growing up, right?
You gotta be a diva. You gotta earn it.
You always have to be a diva if you're Star Wars.
So
I hope it's probably he's probably an Italian name and he had to shorten it because of the way Hollywood was in the 70s. It's ridiculous.
I'm laughing at Jesse. He finally doesn't have to have text over his face every other moment, and then now he's right back in the text line.
It's hilarious. The text line.
I've come full circle.
Yeah. Oh shit.
I agree though that they should have announced something people really get excited about, some fanny to go with fanny. But something fan driven.
Fanny, that's how we say pussy in other parts of the world.
I think they think Boba Fett is the fan thing that they gave people that they wanted.
Yeah.
I do think that internally like that. Now you're gonna get the Boba Fett thing. And I'm gonna be honest, like so far, man, the excitement from the average fans, like at the barbershop and stuff, man. No one's really like, people are like, when's Mando 3 coming out? Which is always because you know what you're getting with Mando so far, right? They don't know what they're getting with Boba, and they haven't made a great case for describing what you're supposed to get.
Whether it works or not is a separate issue. I don't think they want it. I think they want the push for Boba to be in the weeks that people will subscribe, and I don't think that if they're trying to really push something to get subscribers out of it now. I think that they are pushing for it in December. So my guess is that's when they really try for the excitement. And I'm not
like
saying
2 weeks before.
Yep.
Not a bad move. We've all complained that they overmarket films way in advance, right?
Yeah.
Like we got a trailer for the Batman a year ago. Right? The Nirvana one, and you're just like, was this movie still not out?
Away, man.
Yeah.
It still feels like it's been like 2 years from now.
Yeah.
A lot of movies and stuff like that have really, I mean, technically some have been out have been made, finished for a long time.
You're really low, Jesse. I have you maxed out in terms of volume.
Really, Matt?
Yeah. Now you're really low. I can hear you.
You gotta get. Man,
what about
make
now?
love?
Oh, yeah.
Here you go, buddy.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to feel it. I want to feel it.
There we go.
Yeah, tickle
All
me.
right.
Tickle me more.
I'll tickle.
I gotta roll in like a minute. I want Jesse to finish this statement. I got my dog's gotta take him to the vet.
Oh, after yesterday, I think I was onto something.
No,
Somebody
Jason, stop it. Stop
vet.
it. You snuff daddy is what I'm gonna start calling you.
Snuff daddy. Oh.
Snuff daddy. Jason Ward's over here with this dog torture porn.
I knew.
All right.
I knew. But go on, Jesse. I'm sorry.
No, I forgot what I was even talking about.
Okay. No, you know what?
Darn it.
Marty just wants us to know that he thinks Rittenhouse is a moron, and and the whole thing. So okay, cool.
Yeah. Well,
I know. I just don't want to have the conversations because who cares? It's Star Wars. Like,
all right. So is this something that we didn't get to see in the Return of the Jedi, where they make the dress for her? So we got the dress.
Yeah.
And then she's got her other outfit, but then they gave her a bow and arrow.
That's Wicket. Wicket's bow and arrow.
that's Wicked's bow and arrow.
It's Wicked's bow and arrow. Okay.
Yeah, and they in the cartoon series for that, I think we do see the Ewoks. What's that series called again?
I don't even know.
It's on the package.
Forces of Destiny.
Forces of Destiny. I think they have an episode where the Ewoks, like in Leia, like they kind of like tell that little story. I want to say from memory. I liked those. I thought those were actually like a pretty fun little cartoon series.
The Sabine one too, somewhere around here.
Yeah, but I think we'll end the show here and let Rob take his pooch into the pooch dock, because we've done it all and we've had a good time. And actually, you go in and go, Rob. I'm going to answer one last question.
Don't worry, in 3 minutes there's going to be a big Star Wars announcement. I'll fucking miss. Happens every time. I'll miss. Hey, I just want to say, everybody, Happy Turkey Day. If you have any friends who are Native Americans, please help them out. This is a really difficult time for a lot of folks out in the reservations, man. I got a lot of friends on Native American reservations. They if help anyone you can out if you have the means to do so. Take care of yourself, your family, your friends, and I'll see you all in 2 days. All right.
Later, dude. Have a good Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Right, so, our Star Wars buddy Caden says, in terms of direction, where would you have taken the sequel trilogy post TFA? Well, I honestly would probably up that to post Last Jedi, because I think what Last Jedi does is are generally the choices I agree with, where Luke Skywalker's at.
It's a good
why
bridge.
He's there. Yeah, and then Kylo. See, what I would have done though is every time I watch Revenge of the Sith and I see Anakin becoming Darth Vader, I always go, what would he have become if he wasn't essentially maimed by Obi-Wan Kenobi? What kind of power would that guy have had if he wasn't in a space?
Yeah, like would he have slowly devolved, or would he have like actually just done it?
Well, he would have killed Palpatine.
Action.
He would have killed Palpatine in a matter of
days.
or years. But he wouldn't have been 20 years of him in a going, I'll do whatever you say, Palpatine. In a big way, him getting in that suit was the best thing that ever happened to Palpatine.
Yeah, and I think that's why games like The Force Unleashed and stuff, and they people are kind of drawn to that because it's Vader doing his own thing without having to answer to Palpatine.
But that was the opportunity for Kylo Ren. He killed his Palpatine in the Last Jedi, which was actually Palpatine, and then he becomes the Supreme Chancellor. Now he gets to do it. Well, what does Darth Vader actually do when he gets it? And instead of exploring that, they just said, let's just do the Return of the Jedi ending, blah blah blah, and truncated it all. So I would have had that be I would have actually stopped the Sith by having Kylo Ren become the Sith and then saying, no, I quit. I'm not this guy. I love Rey, either romantically or platonically, however it ended up shaking out. And then by killing the Sith, by the Sith literally just accepting that love is the most important thing thematically. That's what I would have done, and I'm not that guy kind of thing. And it would have been like what Darth Vader does, but it actually would have once and for all ended the lineage. There would have been like if it was a conscious decision by the final Sith to say this is wrong and I'm not this, and there's nothing else to pick it up, that kills it. There's nowhere he doesn't take that knowledge and pass it on to someone else.
So he becomes Darth Vader. He's in the mask, but then he's off doing what he thinks he's supposed to be doing, and there are moments where he's being the most evil and committing all this atrocity but then there are moments where they would show in the show where underneath the mask he's actually crying because he still knows that this is not the way that it has to be.
Yeah,
but he doesn't have a choice.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah. I mean,
Yoda he thinks he doesn't have a choice.
Yeah, Yoda says that all that hate leads to suffering, and then when we see Anakin before he's in the suit, crying a lot. Oops, I messed up. I'm not doing the right. I didn't do the right thing. And once he gets into that suit, it's not like his tear ducts go away, right? but same thing with Kylo. Is it's a dead end. It doesn't ultimately go anywhere. And then what do you actually have once you have it all? Once you have actually like taken it, the only thing that you don't have anymore is love, and that's not how you get it. So if they had found a way to tell that story, that would have been the best ending, I think, to episode 9.
Yeah, and like as they've described, is where for the Sith, like they have to be angry all the time in order to really access their powers, and so losing the limbs, and then actually being in the suit, so now he actually has to be angry all the time, extra amount of angry, because he is just lacking a little bit of physicality.
And it's ultimately empty. You know what I mean? Exactly. Yeah. So like having that realization, I think would have been one way of doing it. But I think we're gonna call this the show for the day.
All right, brother.
And then I'm going to do some experiments with my VR stuff. I might be back on playing a Star Wars game in VR if I could get it to run well and look nice. I did one last night and it looked kind of bad. It kind of was choppy. That's what
he wants for Christmas is the VR thing. So
Oculus Quest is a good time, man.
I know, man. That's what I told her. So we're going to try to get it.
Yeah, I recommend it if you think more games is a good thing, an okay thing. I think it's fantastic.
No, he's fine.
Yeah, do it. And
he doesn't even drink soda.
Get him what's it called? It's called I can't remember what it's called. It's like there's a Fortnite ripoff. It's like it sounds like Ready Player One. I can't remember what it's called right now. It's a good time though. It's pretty fun. But anyways, have a good Thanksgiving, everybody. Have a good Thanksgiving, Jesse.
Same
and we'll
to
see
you.
you guys probably Friday, maybe. I might come back on Friday. I'm not
I'll
sure.
be around Friday.
And if anything happens, I'll be back. So, all right.
Oh, shout out Rice Streams. Love you guys.
I love you guys more.
It's not about spaceships.
Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show.
It's not about spaceships.
All right, dude.
All right, brother.
I will see you on the Fortnite machine probably if the boy's playing or you're playing or whatever. That's what I'll